In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to use Trello Project Management, and I'll be covering all of the features inside of the system. So if you are new to Trello, I promise by the end of this video, you will be an absolute expert. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nick. Just before we get into the video, if you need help setting up Trello for your business, feel free to get in touch. There's a link to my website below. We'd love to help. So without further ado, let's get straight into the training video. So once you log into Trello, you'll be presented with this screen here. Now this is in fact the home screen, and I'll be explaining how to use that later on in this video. But to get started, what we need to do is firstly create a workspace. Now you're probably wondering, what exactly is a workspace? Workspaces are different areas of our Trello system. It allows us to divide our Trello system into departments. So let's say you are using your Trello system to run your business. You may have a sales workspace, a marketing workspace, an onboarding workspace, a customer success workspace. You can divide your business up into different workspaces. That then allows you to add and remove certain users to certain workspaces. So certain users will be able to have access to one workspace, but not the other. So this is a great way of dealing with your projects. Obviously, in each workspace, you can have many different projects going. So in order to create a workspace, we've got the workspace drop-down menu up the top here, or we could just go ahead and press the create a workspace button. So go ahead and press that. And then firstly, you just need to give your workspace a name. So I'm just going to call this CRM Crew. That is the name of my business. And then use the drop-down menu here, which says workspace type, and select what this workspace is used for. Now this has very little bearing on what the workspace will actually look like, but just go ahead and select one that is relevant to you. So I'm just going to select small business. And then finally, if you would like to, you can create a workspace description describing what this workspace is all about. So once you're happy, press the continue button, and there you have it. You've now created your first workspace. Congratulations. Now you probably noticed we are still on the home screen. In order to get to the new workspace we've created, the best way to do that is go to Workspaces up the top left hand corner and then select your workspace. So select CRM Crew or whatever you've called yours, and the page, as you can see, has now changed. We are inside of the actual workspace. Now we have got a few options. I'm going to quickly go over all of these. You can change the logo. You can also change the name of the workspace. We've got boards and workspace table, which I'm going to come back to later on. We have members here. So this is where you can give access to different users. So you just copy the link, press invite with link, send them over the link, and then they can go ahead and join your workspace, and you'll be able to see a list of all of the users inside of this particular workspace here. We also have settings, so we can press the workspace visibility. We can change that from private, so that is not intended to be visible to those outside the workspace, or we can take our workspace public. Now, I'm sure there are some use cases, but this is essentially going to put this workspace available to everyone on Google, everywhere. So if you want to use that, you can do. And then the other option we have is Slack workspace linking. Now I love any Slack integration, so I would strongly recommend linking your workspace to Slack if you're using Slack. So now you are familiar with the basic settings of workspaces. Let's move on to boards, and that is probably why you are here today, to use your boards and manage your different projects. So on the left hand side here, we've got your boards. Now what we need to do is go ahead and create a board. So to do that, just press the plus button, and then you have got a few options. Firstly, we've got background or color. Now you can select between the options here, or if you press the three dotted button and press see more, there are loads and loads of image options. You can even upload your own. So go mad with this, whatever you like. I'm just going to go with a nice green color. Just keep it simple. I'm just going to call this board example board, but obviously you want to call the board whatever is most applicable to what you're using it for. And then we've got visibility. So we've got three options. We've got private, so only board members can see and edit this board, or we've got workspace, or we've got public. Private is you have to invite people to this particular board. Despite the fact they are in your workspace, you still have to invite them to get access to this board. We also have workspace, so anyone inside of this workspace, so any member of the workspace, they can come in and have a look at this board, or you can go public with it. Again, anyone on the internet. So choose wisely. I'm going to go with Workspace, and then just once you're happy, press the create button. Now this is our new board inside of our workspace. Now, firstly, we need to create lists. Now you're probably wondering, Nick, what exactly are lists? Well, let me show you. I'm going to give you a really basic example of how to use lists. So we've got a to-do list, and then let's create a doing list, and then let's create a completed list. Okay, so now we've got our three, oh, there we go, add list. There we go. So now we've got our three lists. Once we've created our lists, we then want to go ahead and add cards. Now, cards are jobs, lists. Think of lists as like stages. You can use lists for different things, but I think the best way, especially in Trello, is to use your list as a different stage. And then the cards are the actual jobs. So I've got jobs to do, I've got jobs I'm doing, and then I've got jobs I've completed. So in order to add a card, go ahead and press the add a card button. It's really, really simple. Now let's create a job. Let's say film Trello YouTube video. There we go. So I've created this card, press the add the card button. And now what I can do is, it may seem really, really basic here, but I can actually click into this particular card and it will give me this massive pop-up screen where we can go ahead and add loads of details, loads of additional information. I'm going to walk you through all of that now. So firstly, we can add a detailed description of this particular task that we need to do. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on what I need to do to film this Trello video, but obviously you can capture as much information as you need to here. One really cool feature is the formatting help feature. So if you press that, you get all of these different options. So you can create titles and like subtitles, and then paragraphs, and then bold. Let me give you an example. So if I just copy this and then put Trello video, Trello YouTube video, and then go underneath and paste it, it then looks like a title. So I think that's a really cool feature. I've not seen that before. So moving on from the description area, we have got all of these different options on the right hand side. I'm going to be going over all of these now. So firstly, we have members. This means we can add a member to this particular job, to this item, so they can come in and they'll know that they need to do something for it. So you can just go ahead and search and show, you can select show other workspace members, or you can search for that particular member. So we've also got labels. We can go ahead and assign a label to each of our cards, and we can go ahead and write that out and then give our label a name, and this just helps us organize what we're doing, keeping on top of the projects that we're managing. Labels are obviously a great way, so I'm just going to call this example label. Let's go for a nice blue, press the save button, and then go ahead and assign that particular label to this particular card. From here, we have checklist. We can go ahead and create a checklist. So call the checklist whatever you'd like to. I'm just going to call this checklist, and then we can go ahead and add items. So I need to film screen recording. I need to film intro/outro, and then I need to edit the video, then upload it, etc. I could go on forever. So let's say I've filmed the screen recording, which I'm doing now. There we go, we've got 33% completed. We can select to hide checked items as well. We can add additional items as we go on. I think this is, again, very, very helpful. We've also got dates, so we can go ahead and add a date. We can add a start date and a due. We can add a start date and then a kind of like an end date. Or we can just have a due date, and then you can set a reminder as well. So I want this video going up on the 3rd, so I'm going to select a reminder one day before to tell me to do it. You can see now that on the 3rd of August, that is when this particular job is due to be finished. I can go ahead and tick it if I've done it early as well. We've got attachments. This is brilliant. We can upload from our computer, from Trello, from Google Drive, from Dropbox, from Box, from OneDrive, or we can just copy and paste a link. This allows us to attach a document that is relevant to this particular project to our card. So I might, for example, want to upload the YouTube thumbnail to this particular job. So I've got it available on this one page here. And then we have got, finally, we've got cover. So we can go ahead and create a cover. This might not make much sense at the moment, but let me show you. So let's add a nice pink cover. This just gives it a line at the top. Again, it's color orientated. It's just another great way of organizing And obviously the way our brains work, we pick up on different colors and associate them with different things or different jobs. So you've got two options. You can make the cover just like a line at the top, or you can make it a full, so that particular card is that entire color. So it's up to you. Again, just another useful feature. You can upload your own cover image, search for photos as well if you'd like to. We've got power-ups and automation. I'm going to come on to that later on in this video. And then we have got the activities area. So this is where we can write down what's going on with this particular project or this particular card. So I can just write an update. I can attach things to the update. I can mention people, which is honestly a game changer. So I could at someone and I say, at Nick Boardman, have you done this? Or at employee, whatever, have you done this? Or what's going on with this particular thing? So it's a means of communication. They'll get a notification as well. So I'm just going to put example activity at Nick Boardman. There we go. So kind of messaging myself, but you get the idea. I'll add an emoji as well. Let's put a nice smile there. And then also we've got this add card button, so we can create a new card from this particular activity. This watch option is essentially notifying you on updates for this particular card, so you can turn that on and off if you'd like to, but there is also an option here which I'll come on to. So once you're happy, press the save button. I've added that activity. People can react to it. I can edit it, I can delete it. So once you're happy with all of the basic stuff, we've also got some actions. We can go ahead and press move, and we can move our card to different places. We can copy and paste our card. We can make our card a template. So let's say this is like an onboarding template for onboarding a client, and you've got a massive checklist and got massive description, you've got due dates and all of this. Then you can go ahead and create a template and then just use that card template, which saves a lot of time. We've also got watch, so we can go ahead and watch this particular card. That means we'll get notified when any changes are made. We can archive the card, and we can also share it. So I know that was very detailed. Hopefully you're fairly familiar with cards and all of the options available. I'm just going to exit out now. What I want to show you is how you can just drag and drop from the different stages, which are obviously the lists. So I've just dragged and dropped from the to-do to doing, because I am in fact screen recording the Trello tutorial. So, and then hopefully by Wednesday, I can put that in the completed section, fingers crossed. And then obviously we can click back into our card, make changes, etc, etc. So hopefully you're now familiar with the basics of lists and of cards. They are obviously the core of Trello. And this is just a truly incredible way to manage all of your projects inside of the system. You can make as many lists as you like. You can have as many cards in all the different stages as you so wish to ensure all your projects are kept up to date and managed efficiently and effectively. I want to go over some additional things on this board. So just general admin stuff. Up the top here, we've got drop down menu. If you're on the paid version, you get loads of different views. Unfortunately, we only get the Kanban view on the free version. I love the Kanban view anyway. It's not the end of the world for me, but you could get calendar and table and things. We can go ahead and change the name of our board if we would like to. Just click on it. We can star the board. So if you star it and go to the top here, this will show you all of your starred boards, which is really, really helpful to just get to the places you want to get to inside of your Trello system, especially as you start using it more and more and more and you've got loads of different boards. Trust me, you're going to want to star the ones that are important to you. Otherwise, it's going to take ages to get to where you want to be. We've got this CRM crew button. That's obviously the workspace. We can change the workspace for this board if we would like to, and you can go ahead and press the view workspace page, which takes you back to the default menu where you can manage your members and settings. And then here we can change our workspace visibility. So like I discussed, you can change it to private if you'd like to. We've got workspace, public, and organization. Now, if the workspace was organization, you could have the board as organization as well. Given that it's on Workspace, everyone can access it. If you changed it to private, you would then need to go ahead and share it, and you can go ahead and add people to this particular board by pressing the share button, and you select whether they're a member, or if you're on the paid version, they can be an observer. You can also copy and paste the link as well. Now, we've also got power-ups and automation. I'm not going to go into too much detail on either of these in this video, but let me tell you, it is 1000% worth learning what these are. There'll be loads of resources on YouTube available. Power-ups essentially allow us to integrate our boards with other software applications that as a business you're going to be using. For example, as you can see, Teams, Slack, Dropbox, OneDrive. You've got all of these different things that you can integrate your board with that's just going to make your life so easy. So here's a good example. You can integrate your board with Google Calendar. So that will then tell my Google Calendar that I need to complete my Trello video for Wednesday, and it will sync everything accordingly. So definitely worth looking into. And then we've also got automation. So we can create rules, buttons, and email reports. So if this particular thing happens, then do this thing, and you can explore that to your heart's content. We've got buttons, so you can create a button. So if you click the button, something changes, something happens. And also email reports, so weekly summary of all the cards that are due within 7 days is a good example. Again, these are things that are just going to make your life really simple and easy, and once they're set up, they're there forever. So I think it's really worth investing in creating some automation. Now we also have a filter button, so we can filter through the different cards based on certain criteria. As you can see, you've got these different options here. So members, who's assigned to the card, when the due date is, what labels they have, and then you've got an option where you can do any match or exact match. So it's if members are Nick Boardman and due date, that would be exact match, and then any matches if members are Nick Boardman and or due date is, then that would be any match. Hopefully you are familiar with the and or basis. And then finally, we've got show menu. So go ahead, press show menu. You've got a few options where you can add a description to your board. You can change the background. If you're not happy with the green, you can go ahead and add a custom one or select between the different photos or colors. We've got stickers, interesting concept, but we can just go ahead and drag and drop a sticker to our cards. I don't know if you want to use that or not. I think it's quite cool. Again, it might just be a useful way of managing your project. So it's just looking at all these different alternatives. We've also got the more button where we can go through the settings. We can manage our labels. So obviously I created that example label earlier in the video, but you can create them all here. You can create new ones as well. One feature I think is absolutely awesome, and I've never seen any project management tool do this, is enable colorblind friendly mode. So if you do that, you'll get all of these, and forgive me if my description of it is wrong, but you'll get these different patterns. If they are patterns, maybe there's some more complex term, and that obviously helps anyone that is colorblind see what label is on each of the different cards. I think that's so cool. We've also got archived items, so anything that's been archived. We've got email to board settings. So if you select that, you can go ahead and add cards via email. You can go ahead and send that email, and it will then add a new card based on the email that you've written out. Do a bit of testing on that one. It could be worthwhile. Again, we've got watch, so you can go ahead and watch this particular board. So you'll be always notified when things are changed on the board. We can go ahead, if you're on the paid version, and make a template of the board, which again would be really useful. Copy the board, print and export the board, and then close the board as well. So that's kind of like deleting it if you'd like to. Hopefully you are now very familiar with boards inside of Trello. There are a few additional things I want to show you inside of this workspace. Firstly, if you go to the plus button next to your boards, we obviously can go ahead and create another board or up to 10 on the free version, I believe, and then unlimited on the paid version. One additional thing I want to introduce you to is board templates. If you go start with the template down the bottom here, and then you have a few different template options, or if you go all the way to the bottom, you can press explore templates. What this allows us to do is use templates that people have already created for us. And I think this is going to be a really good way if you are new to project management, especially new to Trello project management, and you're unsure how to build your systems. Use templates, because people have already done the hard work to find what does and does not work. All you need to do is just use their templates, start using it to manage your projects, and then you can begin to adjust to make it fit exactly for your business. So I strongly recommend giving templates a try. Okay, so just hopefully you are now aware that that is available to you. We've also got Workspace Views. Now, this annoys me. I don't know why this is here. Both of these we don't have access to because they are part of the paid version. If you click on them, you'd have a table view, which will show all your cards and your different sections, or lists, sorry. And then we've got calendar as well. That will show you a calendar view, so all of your due dates for all of your different cards. Fortunately, like I said, we don't have access to that. So we are done with the workspaces. I've explained everything there is to know about boards. If you go to the top left-hand corner here, click Trello, that will take you back to the home page. You can go ahead and create an additional workspace again if you'd like to, and build out all of your different boards inside of all of your different workspaces for all of your different apartments inside of your business. I'm just going to go over a few additional things. We've got recent up the top here. That shows you all of your recently used boards. We've got starred, so I mentioned starred. If you have starred a board, you will be able to sit here and quickly access that particular board. Unbelievably useful. We've got templates, like I mentioned, you can quickly create a new template if you would like to, and then we've just got a create button where we can create a board, start with a template, or create a workspace, so quick and efficient. We can also search. This allows us to search across our entire Trello system for anything you might be looking for. So let's say, oh, I can remember one thing in the description, you can search for that, and then it will show you the card that you were referring to. Again, very, very useful. We've got information. This will give you some tips and tricks. You shouldn't need that, given that you've watched this video. You're practically a Trello expert at this point. We've got notifications. So these notifications are when we've got a watch on a board or a card, or when someone mentions us in an activity, and you'll always get a notification. You will receive email notifications. I'm going to show you how to manage that in a moment's time. So we can change that here if you'd like to, or there is another option I'll show you in a moment. And we can allow desktop notifications. So if you want the pings on the desktop, you can set that up as well. With the notifications, we've got view all, and we've got filter by unread. Again, entirely up to you how you want to operate. And then finally, we've got your account. So if you go to your account, you've got Nick Boardman, obviously nick@crmcrew.co.uk. You can add additional accounts. We've got profile, visibility, activity, cards, and settings. If you click on any one of these, it will take you to this page, and you can see all 4 different options. So profile and visibility, you can change your username, you can add a bio. Up to you. If you are creating things like templates, then you kind of have an active account. So again, might be useful if you want to. Username is automatically generated usually, but I've changed mine to Nick_Boardman. We've also got activity, so this will show you all of my activities. So everything that I've been doing and all of the workspaces and what I've been changing. So you can see here, I've been quite busy. And then we've got cards. This will show you all of the cards that are associated with your account. So if I'm managing a card or a job, or however you want to describe it, that will be shown here. And then we've got settings. You can change your language, change notification email frequency, allow notifications, disable or enable suggestions, opt out marketing, disable colorblind friendly mode, and a few other options down the bottom here, 2-step verification, etc, etc. So again, I'm just going to go back to the home screen, click Trello in the top left hand corner. I'm really hoping this video has given you a thorough explanation on how to use Trello. You can go ahead and start managing all of your different projects with absolute ease now. And I'm really hoping you also enjoyed the video and learned something. I will see you in a moment's time. You should now be all set to begin using Trello for your business. You understand workspaces, you can create boards, you can use the board templates, and you can design the lists and manage the cards with absolute ease. If you have enjoyed the video, please drop it a like, possibly even consider subscribing. If you've got any questions at all, you are more than welcome to drop a comment below. I'd be delighted to answer any you do have. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I hopefully will see you shortly in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.